All right. Am I coming through? Okay. Well, welcome. It's about I don't know what time it is, but it's got to be close to 7:30 p.m. here in New Jersey. Because we're here at the national championship, New York City versus California. Here at the North American and Caribbean Handball Confederation Club Championship and IHF World Club Championship qualifier. That's a lot of words, Chris.
It's a lot of words. It really is. I think we could probably find a way to get some more in, possibly.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll think about it. Maybe just not do the shortened North American NACHC. Just let it all flow.
Well, I want to respect North America. North America. I just don't want to say NACC. You know what? This is irrelevant. This is completely irrelevant to what we got going on here. We've got 21 16+5 tickets to Cairo up for grabs this weekend.
Yeah, and these are two teams that have both been to what was formerly known as the Super Globe tournament.
Yeah.
Where many of these players have been to this. Only actually two left on New York City from the last time they went in 2019 as the first North American representatives in the tournament.
I believe that's Ivan Yatovich and Jackson Justimano.
It is the two goalkeepers, Jackson Justiniano, the man who I dubbed Stonewall Jackson for obvious reasons, and Ivan Yatovich, who is the longtime captain, longtime starting goalie, but as you can see as we start off here, he has passed the reins on to Mr. Justiniano in net, who will start.
As for Cali, you made a very interesting point, and I don't think you realize it. This team has never.
This team is not my fault. It's,
Yeah.
there's so many players that have been.
I was getting.
Yes.
California Eagles have not participated in the Super Bowl. This is their second year of existence. They won the national championship this year in the elite division. Well, the Open D1 division, which is the top division. They won a national championship in Open D1 last year, which was the second division. A lot of these players on this California Eagles team you might recognize from Cal Heat in the most recent past.
Yeah, a number of them came over with their coach Danilo to play now on this Eagles team.
They're underway here in New York City with the ball early on here. Got Togba in the middle over the bamboo drama. And it's 1-0 New York City early. This is going to be a. These teams play hard against each other. This I'm not going to say it's going to get ugly because it's not going to get ugly, but these teams are going to compete maybe just a bit harder against each other.
Two teams that frankly don't like each other, Brian, and it's an old adage, but it's true.
Listen, earlier this week, I've seen nothing but smiles and handshakes.
Very cordial, almost too cordial.
We'll see those again after the game, after the 60 minutes.
Perhaps. We'll see how the 60 minutes go.
Yeah. We got Casper Schmidt-Ogendahl at center back, Hassan Duri at right back, Ogendahl over to Oli Andreas Olsen. Louis over to Ogendahl. Ogendahl met by Pogba, and that's a free throw.
And Togba Abubakar there just turned 21 years old, but is one of the leaders of this team, one of the longest tenured members of the team, ironically.
Yeah.
He's going to be a big factor for New York City.
We have finished his third season with the team.
Joined the team at the tender age of 17.
Yeah.
Among a youth movement for the New York City team, including our cameraman behind us, Hugo Sanchez, also a 17-year-old on the New York City team too.
Drew Donlin, Captain America, earns a yellow card there. I believe it's on Togba. I think it's on Togba. I'm not entirely sure, but
good aggressive defense early on, though.
Yeah. Captain America wants it back, wants the ball back in the pivot. Oliosin passes it to Darui. Darui gets it in the middle to Casper Schmidt. Ogendahl. And we're tied at 1. Bamboo Drame at center back. Togba now moving the center. Tries to find the pivot that is Ismail Conte, and it's going to be a free throw only. You might notice on this New York City that the players have 2 sets of flags on their biceps on their jerseys. One is the American flag for the country they play in. It's a violation of the flag code. I know. I've had too many conversations about that in my life already.
Stylized version, we'll say, right?
Okay, fair enough. Ball into Max Puka, and he earns a 7-meter. Defending inside, and I think Talbot wants it for him.
I was going to say, Erwan Malki has been winning the 7-meter battles in our trainings, and he walked over like he wanted it, but Togba, like I said, one of the leaders of the team, is going to try to step up.
Longtime Cal Heat goalkeeper Lucas Droga will sit out, and Martin Hidalgo will check in and save Martin Hidalgo.
Interesting move there, giving him another look. They've seen a lot. The New York has seen a lot of Kroger over the years, so maybe a nice ploy there.
I mean, as Daoui gives Cal Eagles a 2-1 year, you could say New York City has seen a lot of Martin Hidalgo. He played for them for several years. Before he moved to LA. We got Matt Spuka on the attack here. We're going to call this back. Referees are just going to give a little bit of a correction here. Watch how you grab each other in defense. Okay. And it's going to be a free throw in New York City. No cards, no harm, no foul. Just don't do it again. And we got Puchert in at center back. We got Gombe at left back. We got Togba at right back. Right now, I'm just going to pass around the perimeter. Oliosin and Company are going to extend the defense on the left side. Togba will go in, tries to make something happen a little while, and the ref is not having it. Yellow card here to Hassan Daoui. Going to restart it here. Conte to Togba. Conte to Drame. Puchert to Togba.
Yeah, in the backcourt, you got Bombo Drame with Mats Puckert, who now is over at the left back, with Togba on the right back.
Togba and Bombay collide. They're going to say the foot fault had priority there, and it's going Cal Eagles' way. First technical fault of the game, I believe.
A little bit of a disjointed attack so far from New York City after that initial goal from Abubakar.
Having seen play each other twice, I think New York City wants to limit those turnovers as much as possible. Cal Eagles, they want this. They know they need the ball.
They need to force the turnovers more than have turnovers, which is fairly obvious, but true nonetheless.
I mean, that seems to be the general concept of team sport.
Yeah. Getting more turnovers or forcing more turnovers than committing them, usually good.
Starting back into Louis on the right, tries to find Captain America, and Captain America earns a 7-meter.
And he's going to be a problem because New York City, frankly, does not have a lot of players who can match him in terms of size. Ishmael in the pivot right now, undersized at that position. Donlin, anything but.
Drew Donlin is 6'8", 235.
And I was talking to him earlier today. He's every bit of those statistics.
Felix Kirk with a 7-meter goal, and it's 3-1 Cal Eagles.
And this is exactly what Bini Mustafa did not want in the start of this game. He doesn't want his team coming from behind, wanted them to have a fast start at home with the adrenaline. Hasn't turned out that way. Let's see if the young team can bounce back a little bit.
Ismail Conte on the pivot out play, met by Oliosin and the out the Colossian throw for New York City. I think Ismail Conte is giving up at least a foot to Godwin right now.
I would say conservatively that's true.
All right, the refs are not liking that foul there by Matt Puchert there. And it's going to be 2 minutes. He's sit down and think about that for a little bit. Another thing New York City did not want.
Yeah, you go down 2-1, 2 goals early, and then give up a 2-minute. That's not the way to start your first game hosting this tournament.
No.
And now you're going to give a 6-on-5 with Donlin in the center there, where you got to give him a lot more attention. It's a tough ask of the defense.
We've got Felix Kuss checking in at left wing, and Luca Engler checking in at right wing for the first time today. Oliosin finds the wing. They rush back. Felix Kuss makes it look clinical. I'm sorry, Felix Kuss has been in for a little bit. I am sorry, Felix. My apologies. 4-1. All right, checking in now. I do believe this is really for the first time. It's Florian Huth. New York City's going to play center back for a bit. Or Malky comes across in the pivot.
And Firth played with Mats Puckert, who is on the bench now with a 2-minute in Germany in Lübeck. So we got to shout out to 3 guys from Lübeck on the team here for New York City.
Oh, nice. Tauba, I think he was tripped on the way in, and he's down, and that's going to be 2 minutes to Hassan Dalou.
And that's big to get it even.
Yeah, that means that I believe, if my math is correct, New York City will have about 1 minute of a player advantage. Lucas Silva is going to take a seat for a second, and Martin Hidalgo.
He looks like he's the 7-meter goalie, and we already have a switch in terms of the 7-meter taker for New York City here after Togba Abubakar missed the first one.
Yeah, Bombo Drambe.
Bombo Drame. Drame is apparently like Smith in Guinea. We have several guys. Many of them have Drame in their name.
And well, going back to what I was saying about the jerseys in New York City, everyone has 2 flags. One of the United States and one of their home country. You're going to see
Not necessarily your home country, Brian. There's a few players who have chosen, instead of to represent their home country, to represent their home state as well.
Okay, it's right. That's right. That is true.
Including, and not just Americans. We had a Spanish player this season who chose to represent Navarre rather than the Spanish flag.
Well, I'm not going to touch that.
I had to call him out because he's listening.
Yeah. Moving away from Spanish
geopolitics, yeah.
Yeah. Easy passing the pivot. Bambo dropping with the dump up and over.
And if he's seeing the pivot and making that kind of pass, that's big for him.
New York City is a small team. They want to play dynamically. They want to use their standard movements.
Well, and we keep talking about the flags. A number of guys in this team from Guinea, former Guinea junior national team players, including Bombo Drame, and they like to play fast.
Yeah, they do. Best of luck to those teams playing against Guinea in the IHF World Championship. All right, you have no idea what you're in for.
Yeah, those guys are going to run, and they're not going to stop until the clock hits 0 or 30, I guess.
That looked like a bit of a broken play there, but I think the refs are going to give 2 minutes to Bombo Drambe.
That looked like a little hard luck. Looked like the player might have been falling a little bit before contact, and it's tough in that situation as a defender.
It looked like, from my perspective, both players were slipping, but at the same time, you did kind of get the elbow in the face.
Yeah, it happens sometimes. You don't mean it, but it happens. And
yeah.
it should be mentioned this court was laid down 2 days ago, so it's might have some spots that aren't exactly perfect. Actually, Bombo Drame, one of the players who helped build the court.
I hope it's perfect.
It's as close to perfect as we could get it here in New Jersey, man.
Many thanks to Sport Pros USA for providing the court for us. I think it's lovely, and I'm a big fan.
I think it's lovely, especially now that it's done and it's here.
Looking like someone who set up a court. Tyree being set up there by Drew Bradley. I'm sorry, Luca Ingler, and Tyree is going to make it 5-2. Get it fixed. Don't worry, chat. I know how you are. Hope y'all doing all right. All right, live action here.
We're trying to get some hot hometown scoring, and what can you do?
Puchert and Surf at the backs, left center. They're both from Lübeck Schwartau. We got Tarb on the right. Oh, he's being held up quite well there by Benedict Dahm.
And we've seen this before from previously Cal Heat and now the Cal Eagles players. They're going to try to beat up Togba.
I've read the Jordan rule.
Jordan rules apply, definitely.
Yeah.
Which in handball is still allowed to do it.
As long as, to an extent, yeah. Yeah.
You know, in the NBA, you can't breathe on a guy anymore.
Save made by Jackson Giustamato. Drew Darlin on the second ask. Not like you can stop him from.
He's going to be a problem. I will say there is a little bit of size on the bench.
Yeah.
For New York City in the form of John, I'm going to butcher his name, Volvenfalk. All right. I'll get it right eventually. I call him Big John because he's almost as big as Drew.
In terms of height, yeah.
In terms of height, a little bit svelter.
I'm seeing about a 20-pound weight difference.
Yeah.
I'm seeing the difference between rookie Wemby and French national team Wemby right now. No goal there. The timeout was in before the spin in the shots there. And that's going to be a timeout in New York City. 11-10 elapsed so far here in game number 2. 6-2 Cal Eagles.
And you know what, Brian? While we're sitting here talking, we actually did talk with Drew Donlin earlier today. So let's maybe
Do the transition.
check out what he had to say to us earlier in the day. Let's talk about the first game. We're still ironing out the details. It's our first day too, guys. So
we'll hear from Drew Donlin later.
We'll hear from Drew Donlin at some point. I also got Jackson Justiniano of New York City, who's having a little bit of a tough day so far.
I'll just talk about Drew Donlin for a little bit.
Yeah, wax poetic. Why not?
All right, we call him Captain America. That's just not a nickname because he looks like Captain America. Captain America was a captain, Air Force Academy, was by Mike Cavanaugh.
I actually recall playing against him while he was a member of the Air Force Academy, which is how old I am.
So do I. That was good. Oh, great pass to the pivot, and that's a goal scored there by Steve Evans. And without even a second thought, Olioson and Drew Donlin answering the answer. And without a third thought, New York City's breaking. First, on the wing, tries to draw a foul, and nothing's coming there. That wing shot had a very low chance of probability. Berger makes a save without trying, and Olioson wants to put an exclamation point on this. He finds Luca Engler. And the goals are covered in fast and quick here. 8-3 Cal Eagles.
I can barely keep up, Brian.
I know. Oh, Tugba. Oh, they're going to say Tugba stepped inside. Lucas Berger made the save.
And he can't hide with them bright shoes. They're going to catch him on the line every time.
Yeah.
You can see those from space.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Where the camera's on?
You got to go black because they look slower on tape, too. That's the old Penn State philosophy.
Ogendall to Engler on the right. I'll take center. Have an empty for Ogendall. Referees are something. Ogendall to shot save. Jackson Justamano. They're going to like surf to the wing. That's Owen Mulkey and Owen little wide.
It's a good movement, though, getting a good open shot. Erwan normally pretty reliable from the left wing.
Yeah, he will make that's going to be an aberration. I would have to imagine.
I think both of these teams, very good wing play. We haven't seen a lot of it yet, but as the game gets a little bit more loose, you might see it.
Right. And the action. Pass to us for Olioson in the middle. Olioson tries to find the pivot. Doesn't find the pivot, but he finds Benedict Brown. Kind of a broken play, but it worked out.
Did look like another broken play, and they're first to the loose balls right now, Cal Eagles, and
Yeah.
that's a big difference in what's happening. They've had a couple goals that have come out of broken plays.
Take a moment.
This is something that's tough with such a young team, is knowing when to push and when to slow it down. It's a good move here. Run a play, get a good set, maybe a good shot.
We saw Kraken do that very well. This time, New York City does it well. That's a goal scored by Tugba. Quick restart here. Finds Drew Donlin. Can't stop that.
Well, and he's even at his size too. He's beating guys down the court, which is a huge, even a bigger problem.
Yeah. But I make a supersonic speed reference. I should. I don't want.
I feel like it's more of a Superman reference than a Captain America.
I don't.
I'm not big on it either, but I don't know. Captain America has the shield, so he shielded the guy off on that play. We'll say that. How about that?
I mean, that's what Drew does when he's on.
Yeah.
And that's what
He also does that.
But block there. Bit of a broken play here. Pass cross wing. Here keeps it. Malky over to Look at the tall button. They will set up and try again. Cal Eagles, I think the pass it played. There it comes. 4 passes here, basically, for it to turn. First shot saved because Kroger.
And Kroger is so good in his positioning there. There was not a lot of goal to shoot at there for Firth.
Tyree has a broken play. Keeps it. Earns a foul. Tyree literally just arrived. Not that long before the game.
We did have a couple guys on both teams arriving a little bit late. It is a work day, folks.
Tyree, yes, of New York Athletic Club. Currently, Pennsylvania.
Which is I believe right adjacent to Los Angeles.
Well, not so much that. It's just that he's local. Yes. First comes in Luka Engler defending a guy that's as calm of a 7-meter call as I think I've seen.
And I think Firth is forcing the ball a little bit. He's looking too much to shoot. I think he would do better to start distributing. Gets lucky there with the 7-meter.
Yeah. Taking a couple low percentage shots from that left
And there's a
side.
decent chance these guys have played against each other in Germany, Kroger and him. Not too far away from each other from where they're from.
That's Luka Burr's 7-meter. New York City's slowly trying to find him. Alpez Sukovic checking in at center back right now for Cali. Formerly of Chicago and
Hearing a lot of formerlies here.
players.
Players move, huh?
Alpez.
I mean, we're talking about a guy we're sitting next to, formerly of several clubs.
Yeah. The pivot. That's not Drew Donald. So the turn is not complete. But Benedict Dam does earn catches and good. Wilson into Sukovic, and that's going to be a goal and a 2-minute. That's a second. Double drama. That is not at all what you're.
And we mentioned Firth earlier, kind of forcing the ball a little bit, and it's because he's having to play a little bit more with the trouble. We call it, I guess you call it foul trouble, that Drame's in early on here.
I mean, I think, well, but he is.
And if there is a weakness in terms of depth with this New York City team, it is probably left back. A few of the guys who were at Nationals not able to be here for this tournament, so a little bit thin at that position.
Get passed to the wing there, and that is no contact.
I don't know, it's hard to see in that mess of bodies.
No, that's Body. That's Body from Bossa with the first goal. Engler with a shot from nothing. Late call, late whistle here from our referees. I thought it was. Let's wait in a free set right side.
Both of us.
Yeah.
We are. They're a little closer too, though, Brian. We are all the way at midcourt.
They're also, IHF.
Yeah, they're also professionals, I'd say.
Look at Engler, that's barging, yeah. That's not even a question. That's offensive foul there for Cali.
And New York's going to take their time here. We saw in the previous game Mark Ortega in LA pulling the goalie in these type of situations.
All right. Sorry about that. Hugo got that fixed. But yeah, Mark Ortega pulled their goalie when they were down to play to push offensive.
Yeah.
We're now the same. We're going to try 5v6. They get the shot into the pivot, save, and Marty Kambasa cleans it up.
That's the man that has been dubbed Flash by the New York City players, and you can see why with his quickness.
Is that like the comic book character?
Yeah, it is.
No one told me.
Yeah, no one told me we're going to be into I don't know, is it Marvel or DC? I'm not up on it, man.
I don't know. Kyrie, Pat Jackson near post. Found the post instead of the goal.
Goalie's best friend, isn't that the old adage?
Yes, it is. Jackson is going to buy that goal post.
Oh, he's good friends with his goalposts. Always has been.
nice, refreshing water. Graphics. They're out. All right,
I think we both were at one point.
Palba coming through off the 9 play, and he earns the 7-meter. And Lucas Cordo looks a little dejected. He's got to come. He's going to come off in the 7-meter specialist.
It seems to be, yeah. Hidalgo is the specialist today, it seems to be.
Like it's going to be Matt's Pusha taking the 7-meter against Martin Hidalgo.
He's the only one who made one on him so far. Oh, and an easy, no fake. Slowly but surely. It was as high as 6, I believe, at one point. We're back down to 3 here. And anybody who thought when this game was a 6-point difference that this was over and that New York was going to lay over, that's not how this game's going to go on either side.
I guess they wanted Spokane. Engler, great pass! Great pass! And the Felix Perk, Felix is inside the 6. That's the keep the ball. We're going the other way. Looks to be full of momentum.
And you got to watch out, too. If Jackson Justiniano is a guy who works on in a groove. If he gets in a groove, he's seen it against Cal Heat, against Cal Eagles. He can make the difference himself.
Yeah. Perfect. The middle, going right to left. Not by England, not much on the shot. Referee. Try again.
The New York City offense is flowing a little bit better, which is helpful.
They're running a lot more of their old progressive sets than say the offense they've run recently. And it kind of worked.
I'll tell you a secret, Brian. Our playbook hasn't changed in 12 years.
But the players have.
The players sure have. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, no. They're going to give an offensive foul, technical foul to Tugba, and a 2-minute to Tugba for a push in the back. Not the best moment.
The plot thickens. A lot of 2 minutes early for these New York players. Maybe a little over-aggressive, a little overzealous, perhaps, trying to get their team back in the game.
I mean, you can't say that by the letter of the law, any of the refs are tight. Yeah.
Even through my admittedly New York colored glasses, it's hard to argue with too much of what we've seen from their officials so far.
Donlin, jump shot. I haven't seen that since college, but he makes it work.
Where he was a left back in college.
Yeah.
I remember having to stop him with a full head of steam. That wasn't fun.
I remember Air Force at left back because they had someone bigger to play.
Yeah.
They had a guy that was, and yeah.
You're gonna give me PTSD, man.
Hey, I played the pivot. I wasn't intimidated.
Well, I was the biggest guy on our team, but again,
honestly, I prefer smaller play, bigger play.
Why is that?
You never see.
Well, that is what I will say about Ishmael Conte in the center there. He does get lost a little bit.
And it wasn't really that effective early on. Not undone.
And we mentioned as well the Ghanaian national team heritage here of a lot of these New York players. So he has very good work with Togba and Bombo.
Amber is doing a lot better from the pivot there. Great bit of movement on the left side here from the German.
Been long saying we need more Germans in the team. They finally got a couple here.
Got a timeout here from the Cal Eagles here. They're just going to sit down and try and find their energy. Both coaches there, Shikabin Mustafa and Danilo Rojovic, were holding timeout cards. That timeout was inevitable, no matter who called it. It would be Cal Eagles time.
And both coaches also very, very active on the sideline, you'll notice. Both of them. Yeah. Not rare for either of them to get a couple warnings from the...
They're very active. They're very talkative. They're very...
And not just here, but in training as well. We saw both of these teams train this morning.
They weren't just sitting on the sideline saying, hey, good job. Good job. They were in it. I saw Danilo actively playing defense in warm-ups.
Well, yeah, that's the thing about these two coaches, and Mark Ortega, to be fair as well, for LA. All of them not afraid to mix it up with their players in training. Obviously, until very recently, you would see Beanie out there for a good portion.
First time I've not seen Benny as an active roster. I had to.
Well, yeah, last year at Nationals for New York City, I was actually the main coach in name only, so that Beanie could continue to play as he was coaching.
That way, if there is, and by the way, if you're not understanding what's going on, if there is a red card or progressive punishment, first coach listed. Goal scored there by Tyree, back on live action.
Yeah, Brian, exactly. I was the fall guy.
Exactly. Cal Eagles. Oh, this right now is really shifting left side of the court. Both Cal Eagles are focused on the left side. Almost nobody on the right side right now for New York. Mighty Kambasa. Erwin Malky checking back in. Oh, and Erwin Malky gets a quick touch on the ball. Number 18, David Tudor now at left back. First in the middle. Fix low, goes high. Oh my goodness. Quick restart there from New York City from Donnelly here. Free throw. I think he was looking for 7. The refs. Good.
And should mention David Teodoro entering the game. Just arrived from Angola. Showed up at his first practice. Didn't even have sneakers. And has been taken in by this New York team. And now here he is playing in a Club World Championship qualifier.
Love to see it. Supovic going in. A lot of action there. So Alija Supovic, formerly of Chicago, I think I mentioned. I was told by somebody who follows the Chicago team very well that last year that they had a new player that just, and I can't wait to see him play. And then as Hassan Dewey gets the second goal of the game here, saw Alpej Supovic just his team in scoring at last year's Nationals. This year he didn't. Yeah, sorely missed.
Due to the Chicago team in general.
He's new to the Chicago team. Now he's new to Cal Eagles.
Yeah, the old adage of old faces, new places.
Something like that. First, oh, Nate with the program miss. Florian Huff. I say first. I meant Huff. I call it. That's first by my count. Cal Eagle breaking quickly, and the play is not a turnover. OCC projected that he couldn't bring that down even with contact. And Cal Eagles relegated. So Louis, oh, great dribble, great stutter step, great placement, great finish. Come back quickly is Teodori. He tries to go at the Louis. Oh, free throw. Another relative possession here. Got Erwin Malky now. Taking empty cross here to Hurf. Yeah, they did it. Malky now. The Hurf get back to the middle. Might see passive up. No, we're not yet because got some Puka a save by on the right. Got Donnelly. He's going to take it himself. Rises from 9.
And that's just an inexcusable defensive play on that one. No pass, just straight in.
I can hear the new current national champions to my left wondering where's the defense. Really took the space, used it.
But hey, that's what you do as a back, especially a right back. If no one steps up to you, let it eat.
Yeah. Tries to soda step, can't find anything. Back to Puka from the middle. Oh, off the post and out. Matty Kambasa saves it though. Second possession. Second chance here for New York. Erwin Malky on the Louis. Oh, that hand looked a little high, but it's just going to be a free throw with a little talking to.
Might have gotten away with one there. It looked like there was some contact around the upper area of the chest, maybe neck.
It was high. It looked like a shoulder. My perspective.
Hard to see. You got the, as you mentioned, some of the members of the women's team in my view line.
Yeah. Kyrie with the interception. Can he hold it? Can he keep it? He goes for himself from 11. He had the ball to his. He had the pass. Hi, I love you, but you had the pass. You had the help. Your teammates.
Hey, on the break, it's not uncommon for players to be a little bit selfish. I'll give him that one.
From 11, though?
From 11, I don't know.
I'm only being critical here.
I would let it go from 11, but that's just me.
I'm being critical here because I know how good he is.
Yeah.
I know how good he can be. Great pass again into Simon Ebert. In 2 minutes to Drew Donlin. He doesn't seem particularly happy about it. Captain American's going to sit down the rest of this half and think about what he's done.
And we were talking to Simone. I was talking to Simone before this game. He was very looking forward to going up against Drew Donlin. Said he was ready for the challenge of the big man. He's done much better than some of the early pivots we're doing.
I don't think Simone Caliuni, by the way, has yet for you.
I was talking about Simone Herbers.
Oh, on Airbus, yeah.
Simone hasn't come in yet. He's still having a seat there, but we might see him at some point. He pointed out to me before the game today, he is now the oldest field player on the New York City roster.
It's definitely a feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bad feeling when you get to that point, I got to be honest.
Yeah. I concur. Oh, great pass to the pivot. Very easy, but Benedict Dam doesn't find it. Rodrigo, Bello, Sampaio covers up the ball. He's going to give New York City one more chance.
And Rodrigo Sampaio just entered the game as well. Good effort play coming into the game.
Yeah. I mean, that's how you make your mark. You can the defense, or you can give maximum effort.
It's something that is harped on to these New York City players is you can influence the game in a lot of different ways, not necessarily scoring.
Oh, hey, there's that man again. Stone Airbus with the pivot play again. That's his 5th of the half, and that's going to take us to halftime. Emilio Temple. Dominant there. That's 2 different languages. 13 4 at the half. And
I'll say, Brian, it was 6 early. New York did a good job of shrinking the difference, but also a good job on the part of the Cal Eagles, keeping it at a safe 3-goal difference since then. What do you think about what we saw in this first half so far?
I think we saw Eagles punch, saw just didn't necessarily work out immediately. Then they adjusted their adjustment, and they're starting to work their way back in this. They have, I lost count of technical faults. They have a lot more turnovers than, say, Cal Eagles have. I have 5-2. I don't know if that's particularly right.
Yeah, we're keeping our own stats here, folks, as we go. So,
but for New York City, they've got to keep the good things that they did in the latter part of that first half to make the second half work.
And the big thing here as we go into the second half is we remember that national championship game. Cal Eagles made their run immediately coming out of the halftime break. They made a quick 5-goal sprint out of the halftime. I talked with Coach Beanie Mustafa many times about him lamenting the lack of focus from his team. So we'll have to see what happens in the next few minutes here after a little bit of a break.
Yeah. The team will score and we back in the second half. Yes. So yeah, I was telling them I'm not NRC, I'm not a ref, but yet I'm in charge of the game balls and the trophies, and we're back. And that trophy that they're fighting for is a statue of the god Horus,
Oh yeah,
the Egyptian god of quite many things.
well known throughout North America.
Yeah, and 21 tickets to Cairo, Egypt for the IHF Men's Club World Championship. Formerly known as Super Club, but we're underway in the second half right now. 16-13 is our score. Cal Eagles in the lead. Cal Eagles starting with the ball in the second half. We've got Tyree at right wing. We've got Casper Smith-Ogendahl at center. We've got Benedict Dam at pivot, coming on a pivot out. Olioson at left. Ogendahl back to the middle. We got Luca Engler on the right. Olsen, the Ogendahl. We've got Tyree coming out, playing that player advantage. Shot high there from Ogendahl, and Lucas Kroger is back in before anything bad could happen. Togba with a fake. Half of Los Angeles. It's a 2-goal game.
Went super dramatic there on the music and after the goal too. My Heart Will Go On. I know for a fact one of Beanie Mustafa's favorite songs.
Is it really?
He has requested it at many a bar.
Really?
Yes.
You know,
Fun fact.
We'll talk about this offline. Ole Olsen there with steps, offensive foul to Cal Eagles. Not the way you want to start the second half. Oh, Bambo Drame hands it to Ole Olsen. Felix Cuss now on the attack, and the Cal Eagles will slow it up.
I will say, bad turnover, but a great job by Bombo Drame getting back and stopping the fast break.
Yeah.
Easy fast break for Cal Eagles. It's a good lesson for the kids out there. If you turn the ball over, you best be that first guy back.
So let me tell you the story of this game so far in case you're just tuning in. Cal Eagle got off to a very hot start. New York City started working their way back, but not much. Cal Eagles has kept the pressure going for the full game. Ole Olsen coming in from 10. And it's in. Jackson Giustamato couldn't get completely to it. And we're going to restart the throw-off here after that goal from Ole Olsen. Cal Eagles just had control. Bambo Drame.
It has not been his day.
He's a key player for New York City. I mean, he's got 2 2-minute penalties already, a third 2-minute penalty. And he's got to sit with the security at the door.
Yeah, what I like to call the naughty stool.
I was telling the security about what happens when a red card happens, and they didn't believe me. And I think they wanted to. I think since they're neutral parties, they want to see it happen.
It's a lonely feeling when you get that red card.
Mats Kuchert not feeling lonely. Breaks through the Cal Eagles defense. He gets to go. Ole Olsen coming back the other way. I didn't see a lot of contact there. Enough for a foul, but not enough to do anything other than that. And the referee will say, yes, you were fouled.
And Mets Puker also having a little bit of a rough day for New York City, finding a good shot to take. Kruger has owned him in the first half. Got off the schneid there a little bit.
That's his first goal from open play by my records. Both goals in the first half by him.
So it might be his first game against a goal against Kroger because Hidalgo has been coming in for the 7 meters.
Exactly. Luca Engler right to left, rise and fire. And New York City messes up the bit of the restarts. They can't get the quick restart, which
it's a 4 diameter circle in the middle, and they somehow are having difficulty locating it, Brian.
Awkward.
I'm not going to go with how many cubic feet that actually is, but
let's not.
We are at the New Jersey Institute of Technology. Let's get some mathing.
Hey, I'm looking at the table. I've noticed that our USATH referee. I'm just going to call the play here.
Yeah.
Mats Puker coming in. Lucas Kroger got enough of that to make the save.
The 4 shot leads to him.
Saved by Togba there. I'm sorry, saved by Jackson there. And Togba coming back quickly, met by Drew Donlan. Tries to get the ball through, and it's just going to come back there. Don't give a card. It's the second half. No card, just a free throw for New York City.
And New York got lucky on that one. Kroger, a great shot stopper, but maybe even more useful with his fast break passes.
Very much so. He briefly played for DC, and that's all he did.
Something that Jackson Justiniano on the other side has really been working on, not a strength of his game.
Turnover here by New York City. Cal Eagles will finish off. We might have a 2-minute coming back here. To number 15. That's CC Jonas Kamara is going to sit down. Hold there for Cal Eagles. Recently 3. New York City's. They're down a man again. They're down a player again, and Jackson is going to stay in goal. They don't pull their goalies. 19. I'm sorry, it's a 4-goal game. 19-15. My apologies, folks. It's been a long decade. We might see another 2-minute. Or is it just going to be a 7? No, it's going to be a 2-minute to Tyree. He has no idea that's coming. He's disagreeing quite heavily, but in the end, he will accept it and he will take his rest, take his leave.
Not really any other option than to accept it, if we're honest.
I mean, you could always get a second.
Yeah. And there have been players that we both have played with who would often oblige for the second 2-minute. Not going to name names on my part.
Shout out to Marvin Belhausch.
Remember I was discussing how certain backs would never get me the ball on the wing? Yeah, that's who I was thinking of, too.
Anyway, New York City now playing 5v5, a bit more open play. This
should be a lot of speed for some of these quick players, and Abubakar immediately going to work.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think a 5v5 situation, the first person I think of is Pogba. He gets his 3rd of the game there. And it's a 3-goal game. I think Cal Eagles are going to... They've pulled their goalkeeper. Lucas Kroger is sitting on the sidelines. They're playing 6v5 right now. The Louis from the right, that was clean. And it's 4 goals again. Quick pass off the restart to Bombo Grame on the left side, and Bombo brings it home. That's going to make it back to 3. New York City's going to push the pace right now for a little bit. Just like we said they would.
Hey, they are, I believe, the younger team here, if I had to guess.
I have the ages, I have not done the math.
I mean, Bombo Drame over there who just scored the goal says he's 22.
He's 22.
Says he's 22.
He's 22. Save Justin Giusimano.
And this could be a big opportunity for New York City.
Oh, Togba. Got through. Save made. No foul on Drew Donlin. Cal Eagles going the other way. And it's going to be a free throw the other way. Lucas Kroger coming up big there because Togba was through. Drew couldn't
with that kind of space that he's getting on a guy like, even a big guy like Drew Donlin,
yeah.
he is a handful to deal with.
And right now you're going to see them matched up on defense, Togba and Captain America. Louis on the right side, though, over to Oleosin. Oleosin skip pass to the wing. Luka Ingler is met by Jackson Bustamano. And New York City is going. They have 6 now. And Togba can't find space. Oh, that's very close. Referees are saying no 2 minutes. I think you simulated that fall to Mats Bucher.
Yeah, the hometown fans here were looking for the 2 minute on that one for sure.
It looked high to me, but it looked like it was in control. One of those marginal calls that are the reason why I'm not a referee.
That's the reason, huh?
That's the reason. Shot there by Florian Huff, saved by Lucas Kroger. And Calius are just going to take a few seconds.
Yeah, they're going to bleed the clock a little bit down a man.
Their numbers should be back now, I believe. Yeah, their 2 minutes are up. Lucas Kroger's just getting some water on the sidelines. Let's go with that. And
It's hot out. It's hot out, and they went outside during the halftime, so
Yeah.
it's good to get hydrated.
Ole Olsen over to Louis, over to Ty Reed on the right side. That's his home. That's his home. That's Ty Reed's fourth of this one, and it's a 4-goal lead.
And this is New York City playing better in the second half, but just can't get into that lead. It's still consistently 3-4.
Perf saved by Kroger, and Bambo Drabe is adjudicated to be inside the 6-meter line, and that is
Unfortunate for him.
maybe an opportunity lost for New York City. Povich. Oleosin.
Well, it's sort of reminiscent of the final in Spokane as well, where Cal Eagles went out to a lead, New York City pushing and pushing and pushing, trying to get back, but just can't get it below that 3-goal threshold.
Oleosin crossing the threshold there with a little bit of luck. And a very bad turnover there by New York City. And we've got a double up on that combo there from Felix Koch. And just like that, it looks like Cal Eagles are going on a run again. The lead was 3, and now it's 6.
And it can happen that fast with this Cal Eagles team. A couple bad turnovers, a bad shot or two, those turn into easy goals going the other way. They're very good at taking advantage of your mistakes.
Hooker tries to find Erebos, and it's going to be a free throw. Dallin on the defense there.
It's good seeing Herbers back in. He had a lot of success towards the tail end of that second half for New York.
He moves very well as a pivot. I am very pleased with the way he plays pivot. He moves to open space at the right moment, creating the right passing angle for his teammates. And then he finishes.
And like we said, giving up maybe not quite a foot like Ishmael Conte, but somewhere close to it against Drew Donlin.
It still looks like a foot.
I think he's got Ishmael by a couple inches maybe.
Yeah.
So it's close to a foot.
All right, enough for reference. We got a timeout here from New York City. Actually, that's time for more reference. But 10:38 elapsed so far here in the second half, and Cal Heat saw a 3-goal run and a 6-goal lead.
And that timeout there from Bini Mustafa was coming. It needed to come. You know, it's been 3-4 pretty consistently through the half. All of a sudden, it balloons up to 6. Team looks a little disjointed. Got to reset it, figure out what the plan is, and you also got to credit. We mentioned the youth of the New York City team. I don't recall a fast break goal, maybe 1 or 2 in this entire game. They've done a very good job of limiting those Cal Eagles, which is something that, you know, with this young team, New York City wants to play fast, and they have not got into the break or even the secondary break consistently throughout this game. In fact, it's sort of gone the other way, where the Eagles, I think, have gotten a little bit more than easy goals throughout the run of play today.
And some of that may be turnovers, the turnover advantage.
Well, we mentioned like a guy like Mahdi over here on the right wing.
Yeah.
He's called Flash for a reason, and he has not gotten to run much at all.
Back in action. Drambe back to Pucha to Tauba. Nothing on the right wing. Tauba is held up there by Alya Supovic. New York City will get this restarted very, very quickly. Hurf to Pucha. Pucha tries to drive into the middle. Finds Evers again. Referees are going to say free throw only. No 7.
Two old friends there. You could tell the years that they've had together. Great pass in there from Mats.
But from the left, save. Lucas Kroga.
An uncomfortable position for a lefty, I gotta say.
You would know.
Yeah, I didn't much like it when I found myself on that side of the court.
Puss, Povic. And at center back right now is Luca Ingler. We've only really seen it right back and right wing, I believe. Louis at right back and Tyree sitting at right wing with Drew Donlin at pivot.
Eagles with the lead. They're comfortable here. They're taking their time.
And they're finding Tyree.
It's a good guy to find.
Former MVP at USA TH National Championships, Tyree, national teamer, gets the job done. Going back the other way, not really sure what the call is there. I think they're saying New York City was inside. It's going to be another turnover there. It remains Cal Eagles ball.
And we're going to get used to this. Eagles are going to take their time. They're going to run their sets. They're going to get good shots every time down the court. And on the other side, New York City's going to have to run.
Yeah, and they've had their best success this game when they haven't run. So they will have to adjust. And adjust they will. Daluli gets a nice adjustment here from the goal. And that's going to make it 8. Sometimes the luck helps.
Better lucky than good is the old adage, Brian.
I'm trying to avoid the adages.
That's all I got.
It's all good. It's all good.
Don't ask me for an original thought at this time, Brian.
Pabba tries an original shot here over the center of the Cal Eagles defense. It's deflected for a corner.
And what New York City needs to avoid now, as well as what we're seeing a little bit from Togba there, in going with the hero ball a little bit, forcing the game a little bit, need to get that ball moving. And you see Cal Eagles adjusting too, playing very high on him.
Pabba through.
Sometimes it don't matter.
Yeah. This time he finishes.
He might have done that just to spite me.
By my count, he is 4 of 7 today, Mr. Abubakar. All right, checking in here for Cal Eagles. Hey, I know this guy. Juan Estigiano.
A lot of familiar faces on both sidelines. Well, maybe a few newer ones on the New York sideline, I think, and these days.
It's been a while. It's been a while since I've traveled every week for handball.
Some more better known faces here on the side, on our side of the court with the fans. I see Saeed Shalabi, longtime New York City player, sitting here with the team.
Goal scored there by Luca Ingler, rising right to left from distance. Keeping that score at 8 as we near the midway point of this second half.
And if New York wants to get back into this game too, they're going to have to find a way to put more pressure on the Eagles in defense, because the Eagles are getting whatever they want right now.
Checking in now, I believe for the first time at pivot for New York City. Pucha does not find the inside of the goal. Not really a save so much for Lucas Kroger as it is unlucky. But checking in for the first time for New York City is number 25, John Vonderfeld.
A new addition to the team as well from Sweden.
Yeah.
Spotify employee, so we're a big fan of him.
He's a Spotify employee.
Yes, he is.
You know what? Spotify's not sponsoring this. Let's not talk about it on there. Sorry.
Well, maybe we can get working on that.
Yeah.
I'd like to give a little background to the guys. What are you going to do?
Little bit of a broken play there from New York City, but you know, sometimes they work out.
Hey, they were working out for Cal Eagles in the first half, so the luck always kind of evens out in this game a little bit.
I mean, we saw in the first game the broken plays worked out for Kraken.
I think Kraken is just a very aggressive outfit, and they were quick to most of the loose balls for LA.
Yeah.
Which was something I heard Mark Ortega talking to his team about today. Getting those loose balls didn't quite turn out that way.
That's a free turnover there to New York City, and they're on the break, and that is a goal for Ismail Conte. Yep, there it is. Maybe that'll help New York City. Trying to create more turnovers,
Hey,
more aggressive in defense.
nothing motivates you and gets you running up and down the court like easy goals, man.
We saw both LA and Kraken in the first game play very aggressive defense, heels on the 9-meter line. Looks like New York City's playing.
They're gonna have to start
Zero.
extending the defense at some point and getting these guys a little bit more uncomfortable, I think.
We've got a player mark on Delulu, baseball Conte. Oh, that's great move there by Luca Engler, but save Justin Ducimano. Ball is through, and Israel Conte can't save it. Kelly going back the other way. Sipovic over to the wing, and that's a goal scored there by Juan Asociano. Yes, that's a foul. That is a foul indeed, Benedict Dowd, and it's a pretty good one because you stopped the momentum from New York City. Even though the ball was loose, they have to think about things.
One of the first things you got to teach new handballers is not every foul is a bad foul. In fact, most of them are good.
Talbot rises and fires. Was looking for a foul there from the side. Ref allowed to the shot got through. We got a foul there on New York City in the aftermath, and Cali's just going to take their time this time.
Yeah, it's bleed the clock time with this kind of a lead.
Engler, we've got Ismail Conte player marking Hassan Belui. Benedict Dam's going to do a pivot out play to Casper Ogendahl into Engler. Engler tries to go 2v2, finds Benedict Dam, and he finds the lower left corner. Scores 28-20.
I'm getting there, Brian.
No. That was more at the song being played. I feel like this music list is tailored to people of my age, older millennials. I'm looking for avocado toast tomorrow morning. Anyway,
I'll have to figure out who chose the playlist.
Florian Herf had a really awkward step there on his way in, but he looks like he's okay. I think he's okay.
Staying in anyway.
Yeah. Talbot tries to find Blunderbuck, loses the ball, finds it again, earns the 7. A little bit of everything happened in that pass into the pivot. It was bad.
I gotta say, from
it
these,
was bad. It was good.
Yeah, from these two teams, two of the top teams in the country and in the continent.
The two top teams in the country.
Two top teams in the country, and then also in two of the top teams in the continent. Been a little bit sloppy at times too.
Maybe it's nerves. Maybe it's
a big event, especially for, as we mentioned, some of the younger guys from New York City. I don't think a lot of them have played on this level, at least as adults.
And a lot of these New York players, a lot of the Guinean players on New York City, they live in Newark or the surrounding areas, Kearney, Union, you name it.
They're literally a 10-minute walk from where we're sitting here.
Yeah. Casper Schmitz, Ogendahl, stutter step, fire. Oh, that was not a great pass there by Puchik, and it finds Cal Eagles. 29-21, excuse me.
He's gonna keep calling me out until I get it right.
I'm trying not to call you out. I'm just saying it's 29-21, so you get the context clue, you know?
It's all right. It's always good to verbally remind the audience of the score, especially when it's a little bit slow getting up there on the stream, right?
Great pass into Dami. Can't find it. Jackson's going to try and break the other way. That was a bit of a hospital ball. I wasn't particularly happy with that pass.
Put a little bit too much air under it, I think, as well. He was joking that he was worried that the ceiling's a little bit low here, and that one could have brought rain, I think, a little bit. It's something that he's still working on. Great shot stopper, trying to add that to his game.
He's got to throw the long, flat bullet, so you got to throw the 20-yard in route, 20-yard out route. Channel your inner Chad Pennington.
You going Chad Pennington on that?
Sure, why not? He never threw it longer than 20 yards, so.
We just lost half our audience with a Chad Pennington reference.
All right, I should call more of the action, shouldn't I? Save made by Lucas Kroger, Florian Huff, and Callie breaking airway, trying to put a stamp on this one. Benedict Dom saved there by Justin Juxamato, and New York City's going to control it and try and move it. I think we might see a little bit of pace here. 9 goals down with 9 minutes left to go. Matt Kuchert will get it and will earn 2 minutes, stopping the clock. The 2 minutes there is on Benedict Dom. 30-21 is our score. Sorry.
I didn't update it yet, man.
Okay.
We're still right.
Okay, we're good. We're good.
Check the live, man. Check the live.
All right.
It's good.
So yeah.
We got a man marking here in front of us now as well with Togbo Bubakar up high.
Now Kasperman Ogendal. We got Ismail Conte, I believe, man marking Hassan Delouis as well. Want to force Cali to play 4-3-2 in the middle, and they still find Zidane.
That's the problem, is if you expand your defense, give more space, it's pretty easy to find that big pivot.
All you got to do is know how to pass. Hassan Delouis made a small move to create some horizontal space, and that gave all they needed to find Drew.
Especially with, as we mentioned, he's towering above a lot of these New York defenders.
Yeah. Get past there. And Madi Kambasa brings them back.
And we should mention as we're going here too, as this game, 9 goals, it's tough ask for New York City. But we mentioned in the first game, mentioned again, goal differential will likely come as a factor in this short tournament format.
Yeah.
So still a lot to play for from both sides in this game.
And these series are all pretty equal to each other, so every goal matters. Asigiano and Oleosin mess up a 2-meter pass.
And that was another rough pass from Jackson Justiniano there. It looks like he had a little bit too much sugar cereal.
Yeah. That pass found Hassan Delouis, and Cal Eagles will secure the ball, hold the ball, and call timeout. 6:45 left to go here. 31-23 is our score. Excuse me. 31-23.
So now I can't get accused of hometown scoring. It's not my forte.
It's not your fault either. We're good. We're good. I can't drink water on the air. Okay, so.
Yeah, we got to get you a cough drop so we can do that, right?
Yeah. So we're going to be back here tomorrow with more action at 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. That's at least 10 p.m. if you're a member of London Great Dane Team Handball. And we'll be back at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time as well.
Yeah, the next 2 days, Thursday and Friday, games at 5 and 7:30 both days. And then on Saturday will be the placement matches with a third-place game at 11. And the final to decide who will go to Cairo will be at 1 o'clock on Saturday. All games here from the campus of New Jersey, of the New Jersey Institute of Technology, home of scenic Newark, New Jersey.
Home of the Highlanders. There can be only one.
There can be only one.
There can be only one team that wins the Statue of Horus and a trip to Cairo.
I see what you're doing. Where you're going there.
Where am I going there?
I saw the Highlander reference.
That was a Highlander reference? You know what? We'll talk offline. Oh! That is a goal. I don't think New York City realized that was an empty goal there from Ismail Conte. I should call the action a little more directly so everyone knows.
Hey man, it's been a long day, so we're
a little
roadworthy.
Yeah. It's a 7-goal game right now with 6 minutes left to play. New York City still has to play beyond perfect right now. Asigiano to Olsen. Almost, it's quasi man marking here. Yeah. Oh, great pass to the wing to Tyree. He took some contact there. That's going to be a goal in 2 minutes. Too aggressive. They're trying to recover. And that's going to be 2 minutes on Matt Kuchert. That's his second.
And that's what's tough about this high defense. It just creates more space, put your defenders in awkward and unfamiliar positions, and you can get a little overzealous sometimes in those situations. And well, here we are.
Here we are. 5 minutes and 30 seconds left to go here. Handball drummer just tries to go in by himself with Vladivok pivot, and not much coming out of that. Pogba on the right side. Going to try and find Vladivok. He can't hold on to the pass.
You're starting to feel New York had a little bit of momentum in a 2 minute and a couple turnovers, and it just, when you're fighting uphill an entire game like this, it's hard to keep the energy high, and it's starting to get a little quiet here. Even the fans are getting a little bit tired, I think.
Yeah. So what you do here from New York is you play these next 4 minutes and change as hard as you can. You go home, you go to bed. It's a short trip, and you come up tomorrow. Okay, Cal Eagles are going to call a timeout here. Maybe work on some things.
They look a little disjointed in that attack, so I think
Yeah.
it's good.
Looked like they were trying to, it felt like they were trying to just take some time off the clock more than anything else, but they didn't.
I mean, it's a 6-on-5 situation. It's a difficult scenario because you want to take time off the clock. Clock is your friend at this point if you're Cal Eagles, but also 6-on-5, you kind of want to take advantage of that as much as you can as well. So
yeah.
And it's the same thing with New York on the other side. You kind of want to get that foul like Bumbo Drame did on the last possession, but then, and bleed out the 2 minute, get rid of it. But also you're down quite a bit, and you need to push. So both teams a little bit of a difficult situation.
Timeout is up and over with. There we go. And we're going to get back to action. The Louis, easy breakthrough there. That's his 7th by my count.
And not what you want out of a timeout defensively.
Now, David Theodore tries to go in for himself, and he misses a little high.
You feel the energy has been kind of sucked out of this room in the last few minutes.
Yeah. You pass to the wing from Tyree, and he'll lay it in. That's his 7th. Standard day at the office for Tyree.
And you guys say, too, we mentioned that's 2 players in a row with their 7th goal. Pretty balanced attack from the Eagles in this game, too.
That's something we noticed at Spokane, that not one player from Cal Eagles really stood out.
And Drew Donlin said it to me this morning when I talked to him during the practice. He said, we have talented players at every position, and we've seen that. Donlin himself has had a great game. Ty Reed on the right wing has had a great game. A number of players you can point out have had a great game. On the other side, very few New York players could you say have been outstanding or played to the top of their potential.
I can say that Simone Bears did stand out for New York.
Simone Bears, but he's got a very limited play time
Yeah.
in the second half here.
Pogba finds Bambo Drame there. That's definitely a connection that New York City is going to take more advantage of tomorrow.
We mentioned the Lubeck connection earlier. Those 2 guys also both from Guinea, very, very good friends. You often see the 2 of them together, even outside of training.
Oh, yeah.
And we mentioned him earlier, so I got to mention him since he's made his first appearance in the game for New York City. Simone Kalyume on the right wing.
Oh, yeah, Simone.
The oldest field player for New York City. Just turned, I believe, 32.
I believe that's right.
Yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, that's what the Instagram tells me.
Yeah, I don't know about birthdays except for Facebook, so they like to remind me.
The Louis with a shot right into Ivan Yatovich.
Oh, and Ivan Yatovich also entering the game for the first time, the actual oldest player on the team.
Oh, Martin Hidalgo with a very nice save.
Some solid flexibility to get that foot out there.
2 minutes to go here. Cal Eagles are just going to draw out the clock. A 9-goal advantage looks pretty good on your resume.
Wouldn't be shocked if they don't shoot till they see an arm up from the referee.
Oliosin here saw an arm up for the referee, but it was more for communication than for passive play. 35-25. Ooh, Bumble Drumme looking a little awkward there coming on attack, but it is a free throw. Qualifier will get us restarted here. Actually, would love to get 1 or 2 more here to finish this
up. 10 goals is not what you want.
It can make all the difference. Easy passing the Qualifier gets that one.
I believe that was his first of the game as well.
That is his first of the game.
Unfortunately missed Spokane, so getting some time here for New York City.
First shot of the game too, by my count. If they can find him consistently. I
mean, you got to use him in maybe not so much in this game, but in the following games, in the same way Cal Eagles have used Donelon throughout this game.
Especially against Kraken.
Yeah.
Potential. Kyrie brings in 1 more for 8. Dame. Underhanded shot by David Theodore, and that gets his first of the game. In the lead at 9, but Cal Eagles should have the last word here in the evening. Estigiano. Oleosin. 36-27. Down to the last 5 seconds here. Oleosin will take the shot, set shot from 9, saving Yatovic, and that will do it. Here today. 36-27 is our final score. Cal Eagles starts their campaign with champagne.
Yeah, a really solid start for the California Eagles, who I don't know if you call them the favorites necessarily, but as defending U.S. national champions, it's I'm distracted.
I mean, regardless of the club that this core has played on, they have played together. This core has played together for quite a few years, and they've been winning for the last. Let's just skip aside the COVID years. The last 5-6 years have been there. And coming to Newark, coming to NJIT, getting a win has to feel good for them.
Yeah, I mean, coming across the country, always tough. And, you know, a tough game for both teams. You know, yeah, like we've said before, this was the national championship game for the U.S. And to have that coming straight out the gate in this tournament, tough on both teams. And obviously, Cal Eagles did much better with it today. So now New York City, not just like L.A., who will play each other in their final group game on Friday, lost the first one, but not all is lost.
Yeah.
The goal is to get to the final.
Yeah.
And that is still a possibility for both teams.
For everybody.
Actually, all 4 teams. Obviously, Kraken and Eagles getting a little bit
an advantage.
A little bit of advantage.
Yeah.
And like I said, so tomorrow in the first matchup, it'll be at 5 o'clock. It will be the Battle of California.
Yeah.
Where the Eagles and LA will both play against each other, and then in the nightcap, it'll be New York City once again against Kraken.
Eagles versus LA. How do you think that will go? There's been in the short history of California Eagles, there's maybe not the friendliest interaction between the two organizations.
We mentioned that these 2 teams that are playing right now don't really like each other very much. They're usually the 2 that are the ones fighting for the national championships.
Yeah.
But with the proximity, both teams being based out of Los Angeles, it's going to be a fight tomorrow between those 2 teams, I believe.
So it's going to be a New York City versus New York Athletic Club sort of situation, a derby.
It might be a game that mirrors rugby a little bit, almost as much as it mirrors handball, if I'm honest.
Fair enough. Good luck to the refs.
And then on the other side, the Kraken New York game, I'd expect that one to be a very fast-paced, very active game from both sides.
Both teams are going to want to run. Both teams are going to want to move, and both teams are going to want to break. We might see a lot of fast breaks in that one.
Yeah, we mentioned New York City did not. Great job by the Cal Eagles in this game. Did not get on the break practically at all.
Yeah.
And tomorrow, that's something that New York is going to have to rectify if they're going to want to get bounced back from this loss. Cal Eagles, like we said, they got to do pretty much exactly what they did in this one.
Yeah.
Great, like we said, great performances across the board from their players. Very even scoring, good solid defense. Kroger was good in the goal. Hidalgo with the 7-meter saves. It was kind of a clinic, if we're honest.
It was very well played. Balance on all sides. When they had an advantage on the right, they attacked the right. When they had an advantage on the left, they attacked the left. When they had advantage at pivot, it was Drew Dolan time. It was Benedict Dom time. Even though he only shot 3 from 5 pivot for my record.
It was like I said to Don Lennox said to me this morning. You know, they have great players at every position, and it's just a matter of sharing the ball, and that's what they did here today.
Yeah. So we'll be at tomorrow, 5 p.m. You come find us here, whether you're finding us on YouTube or the Book of Faces. My name is Brian Cother, and I'm with Chris Bradley. We'll see you later.